No, no. These particular lands were given to my daughter as Sridhanam. When she got married, I gave those lands to her.
When you surrendered 310 acres, you gave a statement to the State Assembly. That State Assembly statement showed that some of the land, in fact, not just some of the land, 115 acres was owned by Y.S. Raja Reddy Plantations, and another 40 acres was owned by Raja Reddy Resorts. None of that is in your affidavit. Neither the companies and the shareholding nor the quantity of land. That is concealment.
It's absolutely not correct. In my election return, whatever I have filed, I categorically said that I own so many shares.
But you didn't mention these companies.
No,
you didn't mention shares in these companies.
The total quantum of shares has been mentioned.
Well, when you specified by name all the other companies in which you have shares, and you specified some 8 or 9, why have you left these out?
The total quantum, if it is mentioned, it's not necessary that I mention the shareholders of each and every company.
Well, that's a very interesting and disputable answer, but let's leave it aside. People would have to judge for itself. Let me now turn to the 997 acres at Kundur, which you surrendered in January. You claim that this is non-agricultural land and therefore it's not subject to the land ceiling, and you have in fact, you say, a court order to establish this. The opposition say that the court order only establishes that some 540 acres are non-agricultural. Of that 540, they say barely 300 were in your or your family's possession. What, therefore, of the remaining 650 acres? Are they subject to land ceiling, and are you once again guilty of wrongly possessing land?
The opposition claim is totally wrong. It's not 550 acres. It's a total 1,310 acres of agriculture, non-agricultural land.
But they say you don't own all of that. They say of that 1,300 covered by the court order, all you own was 300.
No.
So the rest of your land is not covered by the court order.
No, it's not that way.
You're absolutely sure?
Absolutely sure.
The opposition are wrong?
Absolutely sure.
So once again,
the opposition is absolutely wrong. I challenge the opposition again to go on to the court.
A third time?
Oh yes, third time.
Let me point out something else. The opposition has said that in fact, for land ceiling purposes, you claim that the land at Kundur was non-agricultural. Yet for income tax purposes, you claim that the income earned at Kundur is agricultural. How can you have it both ways?
Well, at that point of time, if I have not known, or I don't know about the income tax, whatever has been filed in income tax.
You mean once again you're ignorant of what you're filing yourself in income tax?
No, about this particular land, because I own so many lands in so many places.
Ah, you're so rich, you have so much land in so many places,
yes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Ultimately, whatever has been filed in income tax.
But if the wrong thing has been filed, if you have wrongly claimed exemption, once again you're liable for prosecution.
No, Mr. Thapar, I'm again telling you, whatever has been filed to the income tax has been filed. If there is anything wrong in any one of the filings, in any one of the declarations, again I challenge the opposition to go even on this to the court of law.
You know something else the opposition says? The opposition also says.
The fourth time I'm challenging in this interview for the opposition to go to the court.
Alright, let's see if there's a fifth time.
Yeah.
The opposition says that you yourself, your family and your family companies are in wrongful possession of a further perhaps as many as 4,000 acres of land in Andhra Pradesh in Benami holdings. And in this instance, they've given many examples of the village where the land is, the district where the land is, the survey numbers and the quantity of land. Do you own Benami land?
I just do not own any Benami land. If at all that sort of Benami lands are there, let them again go to any
I'll tell you what lands they claim are Benami.
Fine.
To begin with, Chintalapalli village, Vemula Mandal, Kadapa district, survey number 154, 180 acres. Mayalapalli village, Railway Koduru Mandal, Kadapa district, survey numbers 1215, 1217, 1219, 1220, 1221, 1225, 150 acres. Are these your lands held Benami?
Absolutely not.
You're denying it?
I challenge the opposition again to go even on this to the court.
You're throwing challenges to the opposition today as if you were gifting Barfi almost. Why don't you instead do the honorable thing? If you're so convinced that your conscience is clear, you've done nothing wrong, then say to the district collector, go ahead and prosecute me. I give you permission as chief minister.
Why should I say unless there is a prima facie case?
Don't you think there's a need to prove that you're doing the honorable and the right thing? There are horrible charges against you.
No, there is absolutely no prima facie case. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu and his party is known to put only false claims
Forget Chandrababu Naidu for a moment. As Chief Minister, you have sworn an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. Now it emerges, whether you did it knowingly or whether you did it unknowingly, that you were in possession of assigned land. You were in possession of lands covered by the Land Reform Act for perhaps as much as 30 years. What sort of faith and allegiance is that to the Constitution?
To the best of my knowledge, whatever has been done, nothing is unlawful. I only want to say that. If at all there is anything unlawful, instead of Chandrababu Naidu writing to so many people or so many authorities, let him again also write to the agitate about this in the court.
Why don't you then, if you're so convinced your conscience is clear, do the honourable thing? Step aside as Chief Minister. Let the law take its course. When you're proved to be innocent, and you're confident you will be, then you come back in triumph.
Every day Mr. Chandrababu Naidu alleges something or other. If I go on resigning for everything and anything he alleges, I'll have to resign in 365 days, 365 times.
So as far as the land issue is concerned, your conscience is clear.
Absolutely clear.
The only thing that you did was that you delayed in handing it back, but that is because you didn't know the land was wrongly acquired. That's all.
Yeah, basically not knowing a fact is no crime.
That's a very dubious sort of explanation for the Chief Minister of a state to say that he didn't know the facts. But let's leave it there. Let's take a break. I want to come back and ask you, are you guilty of intimidating the press? Are you targeting Ramaji Rao and his newspapers because they're exposing corruption in your government? Worse still, corruption perhaps in your family. That's the subject in a moment's time. See you after the break.